So then. All right, gentlemen, I believe we are live. We are joined today by MLB Network's Dan O'Dowd, former general manager of the Colorado Rockies. So first of all, Dan, thank you very much for agreeing to come on the show. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Good. Well, I appreciate that, guys. As we talked about, the $100,000 that you promised me to come on the show.
Yes.
You've got that wiring information.
Yep, our producer Richie is taking care of that right now. He'll take care of that money.
We will forward that to you ASAP, Dan. We got it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, that's a great way to start.
Dan knows what he's doing. I love it.
So I guess we should just dive right in, huh? So
Dive
Dan, tell
right
us a
in.
little bit about yourself and tell us about some of the endeavors that you've been experiencing for lately.
40 years in the game. Started with the Baltimore Orioles back in the early 80s. Spent 13 seasons with the Cleveland Indians, and probably the greatest run that I was a part of from I got there in 88. We weren't good till 94, but from 94 through 99, man, we were pretty darn good. Went to Colorado, spent 15 years there as the GM. It felt like 45.
It's the air.
It is the air, guys. Yeah, we could have a whole show just talking about altitude baseball. Left the Rockies, been at MLB Network for 5 years, started a tech company called Win Reality with my oldest son. We replicate live hitting in a VR capacity, and we are killing it. We sell to we have 20 major league teams, 150 colleges, and we're over 10,000 now in consumers, just 8 to 18-year-olds. And that has been really fun to do because I've never done anything like that in my life. And I get to talk to you guys. So that's it.
It's much appreciated.
That's fantastic. Bruce, what do you want to start with? What do you want to quiz Dan on first?
Ooh, we're quizzing already. All right, so real quick, Dan, I would love to ask you, since today the White Sox clinched the AL Central. I want to get your thoughts on how Tony La Russa has managed that ball club this year. Because I'll be honest, I'm a Cubs fan. While I'm not a White Sox hater, I was one of the people that was a little leery of having a 77-year-old Tony La Russa at the helm of a ball club. What's your overall evaluation on how he's done this year?
Yeah, I was concerned too, because those are hard jobs. And I was just concerned, basically, energy level. And I honestly have been blown away by Tony. They've had devastating injuries to start the year out. When you lose your starting left fielder and starting center fielder in a matter of weeks from the start of the season, I didn't think that club was going to score enough runs to be competitive, but they did. And I think that gets back to the fact that Tony navigated a season without a lot of stars for most of it because he never panics. He's seen everything in the game. He's got tremendous wisdom. And I thought he mixed and matched exceptionally well with his player skill set to try to fill those individual holes. And I thought he set his bullpen up real well too. They struggled a little bit more the second half of the year because I think their rotation's gotten tired.
Yeah.
But overall, I think Tony's done a great job.
Yeah. MJ, you got something?
I'm just interested, Dan, your thoughts continuing on the White Sox. Very young team last year. They they went against my Oakland A's. I'm an A's fan, even though I'm a Packers fan. Very confusing for most people. But my dad was born in Central California when the Oakland A's won 3 World Series in a row, 72, 73, 74. So that's where that comes from. I'm just interested the way that the White Sox – shut up, Richie. The way that the White Sox have rebuilt. We'll get into a little bit more of rebuilding later. But talk us through, because you've been a general manager, from your perspective, what did you like about how the White Sox built their team?
Well, guys, I think there's not one way to rebuild. I mean, certainly you can do it the way the Astros and the Cubs did, which you bottom out for 3 straight years, get high draft picks, and create draft capital. Always on top of the waiver claims because you're picking at the top of the waiver claim stack chart each time player comes available. Or you kind of do it the White Sox way. I mean, the trade of Chris Sale, I think, kickstarted for him. I thought they did really well in that deal. I think Kopech has been invaluable in their bullpen this year, and I think he'll start for them as they move forward. Moncada's been a big part of their team. I thought they were very strategic and very patient. And then I thought they made great trades. The Quintana trade with the Cubs, sorry, Cub fans, I thought that killed the Cubs because he underachieved there.
100%.
And Jimenez and Cease have been, gosh, they've been really, really good for the White Sox. So I thought they absolutely nailed that trade. They did a great job in their national free agent with Luis Roberts. They outbid everybody, in the industry, and I think they've drafted well. So, I mean, they should be good. They've got a window now in that Central Division. They should be good for a number of years to come.
So I'm kind of curious now. Do you think that the White Sox could potentially in this postseason go with almost a 2-closer concept?
No.
How do you think they're going to
that's going to work.
How do you think they're going to handle Kimbrel then?
I think he'll be in a setup role.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I do. And I think he'll throw 2 innings if he has to too, and so will Hendricks. I think so. That was a confusing deal to me, to be honest with you.
Right.
I'm a Madrigal guy. I don't know. Maybe he didn't fit there from a personality standpoint because I think he's a little different that way. But I thought he really complimented their club because they've got a ton of swing and misses in that lineup, other than Tim Anderson, who never swings and misses because he swings at everything. He's just got incredible bat the ball skills. I just thought he fit that club really good this year and moving into the future years. And taking a closer out of the role he was in and using him as a setup guy, it's a completely different role. Sometimes you get hot, you get up, you go down. It's a different role, and I don't think Craig has been as effective in that role as he was in Chicago. So honestly, he's got great stuff, and maybe we'll see that all flourish in postseason when the intensity level just goes up dramatically. But that I was confused by that one a little bit.
So do you think that, generally the bullpen is a lot more important in postseason baseball. So is that kind of where your reasoning is going with Hendricks and Kimbrel throwing more innings than they're throwing now?
Dan, you still there? Oh. I think Dan's still there. I think we might be experiencing a little. So. There he is. I think we're experiencing a little technical difficulties there with. Oh.
You with us, Dan?
Gotta click the unmute button or something.
No, he's not muted as far as I know. I believe we have lost Dan. While we do our best to get Dan back, we're going to go to our commercial break from Discover Peoria.
Peoria's playing tonight in the heart of Illinois. Fun is taking flight. Peoria's playing tonight. Now I can't shake Peoria off my mind. Peoria plays for life.
Wow.
All right. Yes, that's our first time showing that commercial.
We actually have a commercial.
Yes,
right.
We do. I believe we have Dan back.
All right.
Dan, if you're ready to go, I'm going to add you back in. So let's see. I think, Dan, if you're ready to go.
There he is.
There he is.
Oh, and we got visual too.
There we go.
Yeah, how's that, huh?
All right. Technical difficulties aside,
What was your question?
I believe I was asking, just from your perspective. Obviously, most of the time the bullpens become a lot more important in the postseason. So, do you think that will give the White Sox an advantage, like you said, with Kimbrel and Hendricks probably throwing a lot more innings than they are right now?
Yeah, that comes down to Bummer for me. I think he's the equalizer in the bullpen. I think he shuts down opponents better left-handed bats. I think Kopech's going to be really effective in the middle role. But I think Bummer's got to be right for that bullpen to be as good as a chance to be. They've got great stuff in the bullpen, guys. I mean, it's strikeout stuff, runners on base. They don't put a ball in play, but I think Aaron Bummer's a really important part of that. So hopefully they're right. Same with their starting rotation. I think Rendon is a huge part of them because he's the one guy in the rotation that can completely dominate a lineup. I think Lance Lynn can too because of command, but I also think he can get a hit too on a given day. I think if Rodon for me is the one guy that he's a dominant guy, so hopefully he's healthy for them. If he is, they've got a chance to make a pretty long run. I will say that their matchup in the first round for me against the Astros, I mean that's a tough matchup.
Scary.
Because the White Sox do not catch the ball well. To me, that's been their biggest problem all year long. And the Astros, they put outs away. You don't get any extra outs or bases with the Astros at all. So that's a tough first-round matchup.
So that actually leads me into my next question too. So with Tim Anderson coming back after his little stint with injuries and Rodon being hurt or arm fatigue or whatever you want to call it, can they go far without those two guys making major contributions in the playoffs?
Well, I mean, the playoffs are a crapshoot. There's skill and luck involved in a long season, a little bit more luck at times in postseason. So I think anything can happen. I think it would be challenging to do that because I think the Astros are a very, very deep, talented team with a ton of postseason experience. They really need – I'm sure Lynn will get the ball game one. Game one determines so much of the outcomes of these series. And I do like that matchup because I think McCullers with Greinke has not been good. So McCullers will get the ball in game one. So now the left-handed bats of the White Sox really have to step up because McCullers is really, really good against right-hand hitters.
Fair. So I'm going to transition from local stuff to a little bit more national, if you don't mind. Dan.
Sure.
So one of the things that I did want to talk to you about was the collapse of the Padres. Just a quick question about that. What happened to that team? What happened to the atmosphere? We saw guys who went Tatis, and I don't remember who it was also in the dugout.
It was Machado.
Yep, Machado. Thank you. Going
Yeah.
at it. What do you think attributed to that team and their collapse?
Well, first of all, regarding the incident with Manny and Fernando, I don't think that happens in the spur of the moment. I have found those type of confrontations are usually built up over a significantly long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
I think Junior's a great player, but like with all young players, I think there's some growth yet. I think there's some immaturity there. And I think Manny called him out on his immaturity. And it's really great for Manny to show some leadership. I think for me, it'd be hard to know the answer to that without being in the clubhouse and really understanding the culture of the club. I think they were talented enough to win, but I think AJ Preller messed too much with the team. I think as a GM, at times you can he's done a great job assembling talent, but sometimes you assemble that talent and you just got to ride with the talent you have.
Yeah,
I think even when you begin to tinker around the margins, you interrupt the relationships that are in the walls of a clubhouse. And I think when they were big game fishing at the trading deadline and they talked about trying to move Hosmer, man, that was a dangerous path to go down. Because, at the end of the day, even though analytically you can evaluate players all you want, these are human beings. And the human analytical part of the game is like this gigantic jigsaw puzzle, and all the puzzles get on the table and you got to piece it all together. And 50% of that is evaluating your players appropriately. The other 50% of that is just the human part of piecing a club together so the sum of the parts play together better than the individual parts. And the Padres just didn't do that. And I think they didn't do that because I think the front office is constantly searching for an increase in talent. Mm-hmm. And at some point in time, the focus has to be on the players that you have getting better and believing in them. And it's hard to believe in them when they're struggling. And as a GM, you're always looking to try to improve, but sometimes the action of trying to improve can actually make things worse and not better.
How much
Dan-
did sorry, MJ. How much did analytics play into the Colorado Rockies system when you were involved with the decision making things that were happening there?
Well, analytics weren't what they are now.
Mhm.
Rapsodo has been Rapsodo I would have used like really well, because I do believe that, four-seam riding fastballs in Colorado work extremely well.
Mhm.
It would have gave me a better feel for how to really evaluate breaking balls in a non-atmospheric conditions, because there's no mass, so there's no movement.
Mhm.
So we did a ton. We called it Rock War. That was our in-house data analytical system.
Interesting.
The hard
What-
part of using analytics in Colorado is that the analytics, what they are basically is a performance predicting tool.
Right.
When you play in two totally different atmospheric conditions, one for 81 games, the other one for non-81 games,
Mhm.
it's really difficult to predict a player's performance, because you're not under the same set of normalized conditions day in and day out.
Fair.
So Dan, I'm curious, was there ever a time at the deadline, kind of going back to what you were saying before about not messing with the team, was there a time at the deadline where, obviously not to get into too many specifics, but did you have a deal on the table that on paper could have made the team better, but you chose not to make a move because you wanted to believe in your guys, like you were talking about?
Yeah. There were a number of times that we might have been able to acquire. We were only at pennant races for 4 years of my 15, so I didn't have many opportunities to do that. But the opportunities that I had, there were two different occasions where I felt like we could have significantly upgraded the talent level on our club, but significantly decreased the chemistry on our club. Chemistry is not a word that anybody in the data analytic world wants to discuss.
Agreed.
And that's because it is easy to sniff out, but it's almost impossible to measure and describe in a way that you could put it in an algorithm and understand how to arrive at it. So they just stay away from it. But when you're around it, it's real, and you feel it and you sense it. And so, I walked away from deals early in my career. It was all about talent acquisition, as I made mistakes, because that's how you learn the most in the game. It's just all the dumb decisions you make, and I've made a ton of them. You begin to get some wisdom and a little bit more patience of recognizing things that you shouldn't do, just based upon your past mistakes. And I think AJ down in San Diego, he'll learn that. He's still a really young GM. He's exceptionally talented, and I think he understands the human nature of things. And that's one of the problems I think setups and organizations they have today. If you're going to hire a young GM, you should put a more experienced, I call them wisdom GM above them, not to be the guy that does the day in day activity, just to be the guy that prevents younger GMs from making really stupid decisions that can set the franchise back.
Gotcha. So
I like
before we take a turn to the local aspect, we're going to keep it out in California and a little bit in St. Louis. So the Cardinals have been on a 11-game winning streak and are consistently a team that goes to the playoffs, as is the San Francisco Giants. What do you think those front offices have been doing correctly during the past 5 to 10 to 15 years, that others don't do consistently as they do?
Well, just let's focus on the Cardinals, because I think they're two different organizations and run two totally different ways. And when we talk about the Giants, I think we have to talk about the Giants and Farhan's administration, not Brian Sabian's administration, because they did things totally different too. With St. Louis, you know what? They just have a belief, and it started with a guy named George Kissel, who's no longer alive, in scouting and development. I mean, they just do a really good job scouting and developing players, and then using their players to make really smart trades. They never panic. They're very consistent in their philosophy. I call them a lunch pail organization, meaning that they show up each day. They're not real sexy. There's not a lot of let the boys play stuff that goes on in St. Louis. Fundamentally, they're usually an exceptionally sound team,
Mhm.
and they just methodically go out and beat your ass year in and year out.
Yeah.
And I think this year's a testimony to that because they stunk for the majority of the season. They really underachieved, and yet they hung with it. And I thought they made some smart decisions at the trading deadline by taking some flyers at guys that were having bad years, but that were veteran pitchers, and it worked for them. And I think that there's such a thing as the Cardinal way, and I think it really is the Cardinal way. In the Giants, for me, what Farhan, first of all, I think when they give out Manager of the Year and GM of the Year, I think they should rename the awards to be Organization of the Year, because I think the organizations that succeed exceptionally well, I think there's an incredible synergy and a collaborative environment between the manager and the front office. And I think the Giants are an exceptional example of that. I think and Scott Harris and their pro scouting group has done a really good job adding players with talent, but with significant holes in their game too. And then I think Gabe Kapler and his development staff at the major league level have done an unbelievable job of taking those players and making them as good as they can be, but then utilizing them in collaboration with the front office in a way that the skill set of each individual player is recognized for what it is, and they never overexpose them to the things they can't do. And so it takes all the players to buy in, because players in San Francisco case get used kind of sparingly, like they don't play all the time. And yet everybody has bought into that philosophy, and as such, everybody is being used to the best of their ability, and no one's getting overexposed, and they've got a really deep, talented team, and they're winning. But they've done, for an example, what the Mets haven't done this year is the Giants have made players better at the big league level. The Mets and the Yankees, for me, have not done that this year. Those players have regressed at the big league level. And so, for example, the Giants have the largest coaching staff at the major league level of any time in the history of the sport. They're very, very similar to an NFL coaching roster. They've got like 14 full-time coaches, but every one of those coaches have a designated responsibility, and they're really good at what they do, and they disseminate information in a way that it's easily digestible to each and every player, so they don't overwhelm the players with too much information. And I think it's just a marvelous story about when you work together exceptionally well for a common goal, great things can happen. And I think Farhan has demonstrated to me just this incredible leadership skill from a lack of selfishness. He never takes credit. He always deflects how well they're doing, and he always puts other people in the spotlight for what they do. And I think it's created a high level of self-esteem within the walls of that organization. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys.
I love it.
It makes perfect sense. That's amazing.
Love it. Dan O'Dowd, former GM for Colorado Rockies, MLB Network analyst, joining us. A couple more questions for him. So Dan, real quick, gonna steer it a little bit more local. Chicago Cubs rebuild. What are your thoughts on that? Did Theo Epstein get out in time?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That happened in Boston too. So, I mean, Theo did a great job, but I mean, listen, here's where I agree with it. I think every one of these GM jobs should be like taking a job, like when you get a milk carton, on that milk carton somewhere is stamped date of expiration. And I think there is a date of expiration on GM jobs. I think they're incredibly hard jobs. They're emotionally, physically, mentally exhausting jobs. Like I felt like I stayed 5 years too long in Colorado. And looking back at it, I think I should have left at the end of 2010, but our club president, Kelly McGregor, died in an awful tragedy, and I didn't leave. And but I felt like I should have left, and I think I hurt my career by staying there longer than I should have. So I respect the fact that Theo left when he felt like he was done. But I think Jed got left with a really, really difficult set of cards to be able to deal with. I mean, I think he was really behind the 8 ball, and I think he did the best job he could under extremely challenging circumstances.
Agree. So, if you don't mind, I got a quick question from one of our Twitchers that are watching right now. Do you think Aaron Boone will be the Yankees manager next season?
I do. Yeah, I think Aaron and Brian Cashman are kind of hooked, linked at the hip, and I do think he'll be the manager last year. But I think the Yankees need to take a really long, hard look at their whole development process from the minor league level to the major league level, because in today's game, the next money ball for me is whoever creates world-class development. That what I mean by that is taking a given player and being able to bridge the gap between their potential and their actual performance on the field are going to be organizations that have a significant advantage no matter what your payroll is at the major league level.
Fair. So I don't know. MJ does a lot better at this than I do. I don't know how much time we have. So I only have one last question for you, and I hope that it's hasn't been answered on MLB Network yet. So it'd be breaking if you do it on our show. That'd be awesome. But who's your World Series matchup, and who do you have winning?
Wow, I have not been asked that yet, so I can't answer that until I get on the network. Sorry about
that. Come on, Dan.
Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Have you been asked this one?
I will say this.
Okay.
I think it's going to come in the National League. I think represented it's going to come from a West Coast team, so that narrows it down.
I like that.
In the American League, I think the representative is going to come from somewhere in the middle of the country to more of the south part of the country.
All right.
Okay. My last question for you, Dan, is, and I don't know if you've been asked this one either, American League MVP, Shohei Ohtani or Vladimir Guerrero Jr.?
Well, I think you got to give it to Shohei, even though the second half has not been, what it should be. But I think he's done historical things for the game of baseball. And I'm going to give it to Shohei because I want him to be recognized for the future generations to come. So we have more players that attempt to do what he's trying to do, and I think the greatest recognition of that. First of all, if you want to just go on WAR, like no one can touch his WAR.
Right.
There's just
it's
no
incredible.
one can, and I do think some of his struggles, though, especially the last 2 months, I do think he's fatigued, and I think it's really challenging to do what the Angels try to do with him this year. And I think they're going to have to tinker with that formula. But, again, no one's ever done this. So rightly so, there's going to be some mistakes and challenges along the way. But I think he will get it. But I think Vlad Jr. deserves all the credit in the world for closing the gap the way he has from the All-Star break on.
Awesome.
Very impressive. Well, Dan, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you being here. I know all of our viewers appreciate it. So thank you very much for taking some time out of your evening to come talk to us. This has been a lot of fun. Your wisdom in the game of baseball is unparalleled. So thank you very much.
Well, I really appreciate it. Hey, guys, these were great questions. So thank you really for having me on. I do a lot of these, and I have to tell you, I get off a lot of them going.
Oh, of course. There we go.
Time. You guys ask baseball questions.
Appreciate it.
So see ya. Okay, guys.
See you, Dan.
Bye-bye.
Dan, there's gonna come an opportunity. Oh, he's gone. Damn it. Whatever. All right. I love how he's like complimenting. Oh, I love how he's complimenting us, and all of a sudden, it's gone.
It's okay. We know at the bottom of our hearts that Dan O'Dowd was complimenting us, and we can take that.
I blame the producer.
Yeah, I blame Richie. Here, let's before we get rolling, before we read our ads from Discovery Peoria and switch into listen. I'm gonna bring Richie in just to introduce him real quick.
Bring our so guys. So this is our producer Richie, is gonna be doing all of our stuff. Unmute yourself, Richie. So this is our guy.
Hi, Richie.
This is the guy that tells me that I'm a dumbass. Other than MJ.
Yeah, that's my job.
So Richie's doing all of our producing work, especially now that we switched to StreamYard and have a little bit more interactive stuff going on. Hopefully I'll get Richie into all the Facebook and Reddit groups, so I don't have to do promotion during the show as well. But yeah, just wanted to introduce Richie. So everybody, say hi to Richie. Tell
He's
Richie
another
thank you
Packer
for all of
fan,
his work.
Yeah, go Packers.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, you guys are all
Go Pack, go. Okay, I'm gonna throw Richie away.
Anyway, the weekend is right around the corner, and there are plenty of things going on in Central Illinois to keep you and the family busy, whether you're just visiting or you call the heart of Illinois home. Discover Peoria, the Peoria Area Convention and Visitors Bureau have dropped us some information about a few weekly discoveries you won't want to miss. Washington at Autumn Fest. Yes, Autumn Fest, that is. It's that time of year again. The stores on the historic Washington Square will be open until 8 p.m. for Washington's Autumn Fest this Saturday. Get ready to shop local while enjoying food, live music, free carriage rides, and kids Who wouldn't want to do a carriage ride?
Big carriage ride guy.
Head to our website at discoverpeoria.com for more information. Could be romantic even. You could have like flowers in there or something.
I might need to take note of that.
Gotcha.
And second, we have the Peoria Art Guild Fine Art Fair. You don't want to miss the Peoria Art Guild Fine Art Fair this weekend. Celebrate the 59th year of bringing original art to Peoria at the Peoria Riverfront. There will be food and beverages, live music and entertainment, things to do for kids, and no shortage of original works of art. Admission is only $6 for adults, children 12 and under, and members are free.
And finally, Downtown Pekin Street Party. Head out to Pekin for the Downtown Pekin Street Party this Saturday featuring Matt Miller Band. The Matt Miller Band's pretty sick. Grab your lawn chairs or blankets and some dancing shoes and enjoy a fun night of live music and beer. This event is free, and drinks, food, and merchandise vendors will also be available for purchase. Visit our event page at discoverpeoria.com to learn more.
Well, Bruce, now that we've taken care of our sponsorship duties, had a very nice Major League Baseball discussion with Dan O'Dowd, who first of all, that man is so intelligent, and he complimented us, Bruce.
I don't know what the hell he's doing on this thing though. Like, what are you doing, dude? You're on here. Like, I'm sitting here drinking a beer while he's like.
I have my Starbucks espresso that I finished.
He's giving us legit information, and it's ridiculous. It's you are, by the way, not your, because I don't own your. So, producer, please have proper grammar.
Richie's grammar is awful. It's just this is how it's gonna be.
This is totally how it's gonna be. So that said, though, let's jump in real quick.
Bruce, victory Thursday,
dude. Victory, hey, for both teams, man, for both teams. So let's go first of all. Oh wait, what are we waiting on?
What?
What do we? Oh, I thought you said hold on.
No, I said well done.
Yeah, dude. Like, honestly, though, I will say what's scary. So. I want to go on a quick rant. I'm going to be quick because I want to be positive. I'm trying to maintain a position of positivity going into this week against the Browns for the Bears.
That won't last long, but okay.
Okay, so Dalton did a great job. He was actually looking really, really good. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You didn't see him like looking like absolute trash. You saw him actually doing a good job. He was moving. There was no 3 and outs. There was like maybe 1 3 and out during the course of that. However, there is no time in the present to start developing your young quarterback. You can't artificially suppress his abilities. Are you frozen? Wait, oh, there you go. You can't. And I keep saying this. You can't artificially suppress this guy. Put Justin Fields in now. I know it's an injury. I know that's the reason why he's in, but let him go. And what Stephen A. Smith said earlier today on ESPN, and while, yes, it's a larger platform than our little mom and pop, but damn it, that's a fucking wrong way to put it. It's absolute freaking dog shit. Why would you start Nick Foles? You already know what you're getting with Foles. And actually, you're seeing, and I saw a good PFF rating for the Chicago Bears offensive line. Surprisingly, it's been performing really well.
Yeah, they have.
Game. So and Peters, Myles Garrett this week, you're going to face finally
that's your test.
An edge rusher who is fast and powerful. So I'm interested to see how a 39-year-old tackle plays against that guy. But in any case,
I agree.
In any case, though, it should have happened. Justin Fields, baby, let's go. Let's get after it. Will they win? I don't know. Maybe not. I'm not going to say my prediction yet. But My biggest thing though is I think it's sooner rather than later. I'm glad it's happening. It's an unfortunate circumstance. Let's go.
So
One more
you
thing.
know-
Sorry.
you know-
One more thing. One more thing.
One more thing.
One more thing. And additionally to that, I apologize. I know I cut you off. So
No, you're fine.
I'm an asshole. But the last thing I want to say about it though is, dude, Justin Fields was this close to having 150 yards and 2 touchdown passes and no picks in that game.
Yeah.
If Allen Robinson, who is a sure-handed wide receiver that you'll find in the NFL, catches that pass, that's a touchdown. And he barely missed Darnell Mooney. Some people are calling it a drop. Some people are calling it a just off, not a drop. I call it a drop. I'm sorry. But, be that as it may. And then that interception at the end of the game shouldn't even happen anyway. Matt Nagy should have ended up running the ball and punted on 3rd or 4th down, and then made them go up the whole field. And you don't know how much time was left at that point. But I digress. Anyway, let's start it. Let's go. Justin Fields time. Let's go.
So the only when I saw the Stephen A. Smith take this morning,
Loud noises, Stephen A. Smith, loud noises, opinions.
If it wasn't Nick Foles, I would agree theoretically. I wouldn't. You already know this. I wouldn't start Justin Fields right now until I'm positive that he's going to be protected and it's worth it. I wouldn't start him yet. However, you are correct. You know exactly what you're getting in Nick Foles. It's in no way, shape, or form an upgrade from either Dalton or Fields. So while Dalton's out, you see what you have. But if Justin Fields gets hurt because that offensive line doesn't protect him and you're facing your first true edge rusher test, it's going to be rough for Fields back there. It's not going to be an easy game, and he's going to have to win a shootout against the Browns. So you're going to be in a lot of pass rushing situations. You're not really going to be able to just sit back and run with David Montgomery, run a bunch of RPOs. That's not the kind of game that the Bears are going to be able to play. So unfortunately, you're throwing him, in my opinion, even into a worse fire than it would have been against the Rams. Neither are good, but I think it's a worse game for you to start a really hostile environment in Cleveland. LA, packed SoFi Stadium, it's not really a hostile place to play yet. So in my opinion, one of the worst times for you to start Justin Fields. Do they have another good option? No. But if I were the Chicago Bears and I had another option, I would take it.
I disagree. Because
I know you do.
The LA Rams have a top 5, top 2, top 3 defense in the NFL right now. And
Yes, they do.
whereas the Cleveland
And
Browns,
their biggest weakness is what Justin Fields does well.
the Cleveland Browns are in the 20s, in the 25th. Even
Yes, but their defensive line,
even
they
better.
have better edge rushers than the Rams do.
Okay, I'll.
That's realistically where I'm coming from. They
I'll agree
have
with
better edge rushers,
I'll agree with that.
and the Rams' biggest weakness right now is their linebacking core.
Okay.
Not that they really have a weakness, but if you were to pick one, it would be their middle linebackers,
I just don't think that I would want to start. To be honest with you, okay, I can go along with your thought on not starting Justin Fields against the Rams.
yeah.
I can. Cincinnati's defense is ranked. So according to DVOA, Cincinnati's ranked 7th.
They've done pretty well. Granted, they played Minnesota and Chicago, so
By the way, hold on. Let's talk on this real quick. How much hot shit is Minnesota, dude?
they're awful.
How much hot shit is that? Oh, absolutely brutal. I'm sorry. I had to do that.
If you want to laugh, listen to the radio call of the Minnesota Vikings radio.
I did. It's up. It's good.
No, he missed it.
Talk about premature. If you know what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh, the range of emotions that
You
poor
gotta cut
dude
that,
went
Richie.
through.
You gotta cut that.
Oh my gosh. So My Green Bay Packers
I was
last
about
week.
to say, thank you, sir. I was about to say though, how are you feeling in the first half of that Detroit Lion Green Bay Packer game?
In the first half,
Just the first, I would act like genuinely because I was
So-
laughing when I heard it because like I had like basketball open gym,
Yeah.
so I couldn't like text you or kind of. I wasn't gonna give you shit to be honest with you when I like even at halftime because I knew right away like the Packers were gonna come back and win that
Yeah.
game. But I kind of wanted to just to be that guy. But anyway,
So-
what were your thoughts?
at halftime, you can look at my Twitter account and kind of track the timeline if you would like. I was screaming for
Can we
Kevin
pull those-
King.
Can we pull some of those? Can we pull some of those tweets and post them? Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know if Richie can do that real time. We'll see what he's capable of. But I was screaming. You can, unfortunately, Paige is not here right now. But if my girlfriend was here, she would tell you
Oh my god,
that I was.
you froze real quick and it was classic. Anyway, continue.
But if Paige was here, she would tell you that I was literally full volume screaming at the TV at Kevin King because of how frustrating it was to watch that man be on a football field. Like, you have Eric Stokes, who was drafted in the first round for a reason, and for no logic whatsoever, you decide, let's keep the slow, dumb, inexperienced version.
It's his anger. It's that Packer anger.
I was livid.
I think it's going to happen a lot more this year.
I don't. They already started playing Eric Stokes more. Is the defense as good as it was last year? No. But you have to also remember Zadarius Smith is not playing right now. He's an all-pro level edge rusher. So you put him back. He was third in pressures in the NFL last year. Packers are not getting pressure right now. You put him back on that line, he can rush from the inside, and the biggest issue the Packers are having right now is a lack of interior pressure. Preston Smith and Rashawn Gary are doing all right. Rashawn Gary got 19.2% of his pass rushing snaps. He got pressure on the quarterback last week. That's really good.
Green Bay, sorry, I'm gonna touch on the subject that you're just talking about. So Green Bay ranks 30th. Their defensive line ranks 30th in DVOA right now.
And one of the most incredible things about Zadarius Smith is he can rush the quarterback from all 5 spots on the offensive line. He isn't just an edge rusher. He's a rusher. He can do it from the inside. He can do it from the outside. So you bring him back. I don't think a lot of people understand what that one aspect of the Green Bay Packers defense is missing and what that could do for the Packers when he does come back. Obviously, right now, we have to work with what we have to work with. But I'm not as worried about our front 4. Our linebackers are awful. That's how it is. I liked a little bit of what I saw from Devondre Campbell, our new middle linebacker. He's already rated better by PFF than Christian Kirksey ever was or Blake Martinez ever was. So little bit of improvement there. He got beat by TJ Hawkinson on one touchdown throw, fade to the corner of the end zone. However,
can I tell you
can't really play it much better than that. Hawkinson.
Can I tell you how much your Packers screwed me over this week, by the way, with not being able to cover freaking TJ Hawkinson?
Yeah, that's fair.
What the shit, dude?
I mean, he is an incredible tight end, and that throw by Jared Goff was really good. There's not much more Campbell can do. He played it as well as he can. Just don't have your middle linebacker lining up on one of the best tight ends in the NFL in the slot. That's basically what the answer to that problem is. So, all of the issues I see on the defense, I think they're fixable. Play Kevin King less. Okay, now my 2 corner spots are much more solidified. Devondre Campbell, don't line him up against really good tight ends. Okay, then he's not going to get beat. You bring back Zadarius Smith, then you can roll out a lineup of Rashawn Gary and Preston Smith on the outside, Zadarius Smith and Kenny Clark on the inside rushing. Those are 4 incredible edge rushers. That's a front 4 I'm comfortable with getting pressure. The issue right now is the Packers have to blitz 6, essentially, to get pressure. So that's leaving Kevin King out there to dry. That's leaving your rookie corner out there to dry.
Well, yeah, because if you're blitzing, you're in single coverage.
Exactly. So, Jair Alexander, he can handle that all day. Kevin King can't. Eric Stokes has shown that he can, but he's still a rookie. He's still learning. I would prefer not to leave my rookie corner out there to dry the majority of the time. So you're just putting a lot more pressure on your defensive backs right now because of how much the Packers have to blitz if they want to get pressure. So I was encouraged by what I saw from their defense in the second half. Another part of that is when the Packers offense is rolling, it's a lot easier for the defense. Packers run defense is absolutely trash. So if the Packers are ahead, our pass defense is better because we have Jair Alexander.
You're going into Packer mode right now. We got to stop. We got to stop.
No. I'm talking about the problems that the Packers can fix.
We got to stop the Packer mode right now. I'm sorry. I just got a text from a buddy of mine right now. He's like, dude, he's going into Packer mode. You need to stop him.
You know what, Eric? You can shut up. You know what, Eric? You can shut your mouth.
It wasn't him. Actually, it wasn't Eric.
Oh, really? It wasn't?
It wasn't Eric. Genuinely, it wasn't Eric. But no.
I'm surprised I haven't gotten a text from Jason.
But seriously though, we always take a long time at that, so I'm going to transition into it. Sorry, Richie. I know you said keep going, but unfortunately, someone has to bring sanity to this platform. There he grabbed it. I love it.
Literally. So they blamed that touchdown on Stokes. Matt LaFleur literally said Kevin King was supposed to follow him. He's an idiot. He should never touch the field.
So
unless they're in dime.
I'm gonna go into week 3 right now, if you don't mind.
Yes, go for it.
All right. So according to FanDuel, you're more than welcome to sponsor us and give us any kind of sponsorship if you want to. And Coors Light.
And Starbucks.
Wait. I didn't do my normal opening show thing.
Oh, she's back. Come here. I need you to do a test on. You need to do something?
I need to plug my phone.
Okay. Once you plug your phone in, I need your word on something.
We're not live, Paige. We're not live.
Shut up. Yes, we are.
Act normal.
Okay.
Show stuff?
Yeah. It's only 7:47. So I need you, just like on a scale of 1 to 10. Come in the video. A scale of 1 to 10. How mad was I at Kevin King on Monday?
It was a good time.
It was a good, like a 10. Yeah.
Good time.
Yeah. I never want him to touch the football field again. I don't care. What? Yes, you're done. You're good. Thank you, sweetie. Okay. Week 3.
Sweetie.
Sweetie. Okay,
Right.
Week 3. Let's roll.
All right, week 3. Let's roll. All right, so we got the Arizona Cardinals at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The line, according to FanDuel, right now, Arizona is -7.5.
Arizona. I'll give Arizona by 14.
I like that.
Give me the alternative spread. Arizona by 14.
I'm going to say Arizona -7.5, 100%. All right, we got Colts at Titans. And Titans are favored -5. Titans have actually looked like absolute trash shit.
Yes, but Carson Wentz sprained both of his ankles.
Dude, he has a high ankle and a regular rolled.
Yes.
Dude,
yeah.
Can you imagine that? Real quick, hold on, time out. Before we go into this,
like, how do you sprain? First of all,
have you ever sprained? You've sprained your ankle.
Obviously. Oh yeah, it's awful. I hate it.
Like, it's the worst. Can you imagine having 2 sprained ankles and just hobbling, looking like an old ass man?
The 2 worst things you can do to your body are, number 1, biting your cheek when you're eating. That's the worst pain in the world. And number 2, a high ankle sprain.
So stubbing my toe. So, all right, so we're totally tangenting and it's hilarious. But there are times, man, when I'll get up to take a pee at night.
Yeah.
And I'll
boom.
We'll have a laundry basket or something like that on the ground. And I'll be walking and I'll slam my foot against it. And no joke, the first thing I want to just yell is just I want to blame someone. I want to be I want to get pissed off. I'm be like, babe, you didn't grab this, or like the dog put it there, or something.
Come on, lady.
Right. Damn it, lady. But I don't. And you want to just yell at someone. You just want to be like, fuck you, but you can't.
I mean, you can.
Well, true. You're welcome. But so that being said, to continue with what I was saying, so Titans home against the Colts -5. I have the Titans. I have the Titans and I have the points.
Yeah, I'll give them a touchdown. Yeah.
After that, we got the Ravens at Lions. Ravens are -7.5. I'll be honest with you. I like how hard the Lions are playing for their new coach. I think that he's a goon, and his energy will only last a certain amount of years. We saw that in basketball.
Yep.
Tom Thibodeau, to a different degree, because I think Thibodeau, like, schematically is different than him. However, I know I'm like really fucking up right now with the tangent with sports, but I like what the Lions are doing right now. However, I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna go Ravens win, but I'm gonna take the Lions plus 7.5.
Really?
That's my reach. I think that's my
Really?
reach. That's my reach this week. Lions
Okay.
plus 7.5.
I think the Ravens are going to absolutely destroy them in every way, shape, and form that's ever existed.
Curb stomp them.
Yeah, I mean, the Packers curb stomped them, and they look trash for a half. Imagine the Ravens, who don't have organizational issues right now. They'll be great.
That's fair too. All right, fair. Damn it! That shouldn't have been my reach this week.
Anyway,
Washington football team at Buffalo. Buffalo.
this is going to be a good game.
I agree. I think Washington has a great defense. I think the quarterback Hinkie. How do you pronounce this?
Heineke.
Heineke. Thank you. Fucking, I actually think that he's a stud. Right now, he's actually ranked 15th. 15? No,
Really?
actually,
With that defense, that's all you need.
he's ranked 12th in DVOA. So he's a mediocre quarterback, which is fine with a great defense. So,
Yep.
Excuse me. Washington is plus 7. I'm taking the points, but I'm thinking the Bills win.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it'll be close, but as long as Allen and Diggs are on their A game, it shouldn't be that much of an issue.
I hope
In
Allen
Buffalo?
is to help my fucking fantasy team. Sorry.
True. Is it in Buffalo?
It's in Buffalo, yes.
Okay, then yeah, they'll be okay. They'll be good.
All right, next game we got New Orleans at the Patriots. We have Drew Brees against Tom Brady. I'm just
Wait.
wait a minute.
Wait. No, we have Jameis Crablegs Winston against
Mac Daddy.
Jones.
Mac Daddy.
Mac Daddy.
Who? Mac Jones. Who? Mac Jones. Oh, you better
You
clip
done?
that shit, Richie.
So it's funny. Okay. Real quick stories. If you're allowed to tangent, I am too. So me and my friend group, all 6 of us, no, 5 of the 6 of us are doing.
Large friend group.
Not really. It's college, Bruce. So no. You're one to talk. You have had like 17 best men.
Hey, dude.
Oh, Richie. Yes, I have friends. But 5 of us have a spreadsheet because I picked
Oh
I
yeah.
did my article where I pick every game. My friends are doing it with me this year. They all picked New Orleans. I was the only person that picked New England. And I picked New England.
Okay, no, I think so.
That's where I was going with that.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, the Austin Scott has entered the chat.
There you go.
Appreciate that. Hey, Austin, he's rocking his Green Bay Packers gear. I'm sure you appreciate that, brother. Anyway, so next game we got the LA Chargers at Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are minus 6.5. I like Herbert. I like the Chargers offense. I think they do a very good job. However, no, I got the Chiefs winning this one, and I think it's gonna be a shootout. The over-under is at 54.5. So I'm gonna say Chiefs win. However, Chargers cover.
I agree with that. Also, so my dad, he's been having issues with Twitch, and his Twitch account won't let him log in. So he's texting me his comments.
Mm-hmm.
He says New Orleans lost to Carolina in response to me saying that New England was going to win. Absolutely. Carolina, they lost to Sam Darnold, Bruce. Mac Jones. Mac Jones is basically better than Sam Darnold.
I actually didn't even give my pick on that one, to be honest with you. So, my bad. I got distracted. So, no, I agree. I think the Patriots win that game. And
Okay,
cover.
good.
All right. So next game. No, here we go. The Chicago Bears at
Going to get
the Cleveland Browns. So we have the Chicago Shits versus the Cleveland Browns.
And they're back.
And they're back. However, no, it's not. Okay, so no, like, I didn't even talk about the PR nightmare that occurred this week with Matt Nagy, like, fucking up a question and then sending the PR team out to say, no, Andy Dalton's our starter. So generally, I think that
It's ridiculous.
100%. And I actually think that there's a ruffle now going on. Yeah, thank you. Oh, Matt.
Matt.
I think that there's a ruffling of the feathers at Hallis Hall now, meaning that Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy aren't completely seeing eye to eye anymore. And
Yeah.
I think Matt Nagy wants to see Justin Fields start. Do I agree with what Matt Nagy does offensively as an offensive coordinator? No, I think he's a fucking jackass with it. And I also think that he's very predictable at what he calls. That being said, Cleveland Browns win this game. Chicago Bears cover.
What's the spread?
7.5.
Nope.
Fair enough.
Nope.
I don't think I don't know. I still think Baker Mayfield is like most overrated, overhyped quarterback in the NFL right now.
Yeah, Bruce is on something today.
F-bombs,
Bruce is on
okay?
something.
There's always F-bombs. Hey, if you can't
Next
handle it, you're out of kitchen, dog. Hey, wait, so what's your call on that? So you said Browns
win and cover.
Yeah. Whatever, shot. All right, so we got Bengals at Steelers. This used to be a classic matchup. Used to love it. Ben Roethlisberger can't throw a football more than 5 yards. I don't think he starts this week. However, he said he's throwing, but he's with pain. I got the Bengals winning the game and covering, obviously.
What's the spread?
It's the regular home spread -3.
Oh, okay.
So basically, if it was a neutral site, it'd be pick'em.
Right. I'll go. Yeah, I guess I agree. I don't know. Neither team has impressed me enough to like care. This is a game I would say absolutely do not bet on. Like,
I agree.
if you're gonna bet,
I'm betting
do
the
some
Bengals.
props. Don't do anything on this game because it's a toss-up.
I'm betting the Bengals to win.
Bold take, Bruce.
Hey, well, it's not any more bold than the previous one that what was it? The Washington team or game.
If it makes you feel better, Paige agrees with you.
Knew there was a reason why I liked you.
Yeah. What we got next?
You didn't even give a. So who do you have winning?
I said don't bet on it. I don't know.
That's weak sauce.
I have nothing.
All
I
right,
have
fair
no
enough.
idea.
So next game, we got the Falcons at New York. New York's favored. You want to talk about a game? Don't bet on. The Giants are favored -3. It's the regular home game favored.
I'm going Falcons to win and cover.
Only because of Matt Ryan.
Yeah, like if you give me two terrible teams, one of them has a good offense and a bad defense,
Daniel Jones sucks. I'm sorry.
and then you have
Can I say
the
that?
Giants who just suck at everything. Yep.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Richie. Snooze.
Yeah.
I agree.
Good summary. Yeah. Snooze fest. Bet the Falcons. Move on.
Don't care. Yeah, I'll go with that. I don't even care about that game. All right, we got the Dolphins at the Raiders. The Raiders are 2-0, and I think the Raiders are 2-0 by smoke and mirrors.
Really?
Yes, I do not think they're a legit team.
Derek Carr has one of the best.
I like
MVP
Carr.
odds.
I do like Carr. I will say that, but like I genuinely like. There's just something about that team. I think that it's a fluke. I think that they're a flash pan type Chicago Bears team that it's not consistent. It's going to be just like we're good. And all of a sudden, like they're going to be like just absolute dog shit against a team that can actually do well against them.
They beat the Ravens, Bruce.
Okay. In a shootout,
Who
and
did they beat last week? Steelers? Yeah, they beat the Steelers last week.
yeah, Steelers aren't very good either.
Fair.
The Ravens,
I don't know.
Ravens was legit.
Those are two. I mean, the Steelers are still a very well-coached team. They went 500 with Devlin Duckface Hodges as their quarterback. Like, that's still a good football team. By the way, side note, real quick, since we're on the topic of betting, if you want to bet MVP odds, bet them right now for someone who will actually win MVP, because people like Derek Carr are in the top 5 in MVP odds right now on FanDuel. So,
that's true. You're right.
if you want to bet MVP, do it like week 2 or 3 when weird people like Derrick Henry and Derek Carr are top on MVP odds.
See,
Anyway.
this is the reason why I transitioned 15 minutes ago, because it's already 8 o'clock.
Shut up. Okay, speed run.
All right, so I have I actually really did like the Dolphins at the beginning of the year, but they've kind of fallen off in my like because of injuries and all that jazz.
Yeah.
So I think the Raiders win this game, and I think they cover.
I agree.
It's in Vegas. All right, next game. Talk about Snooze Fest. We got the New York Jets and Zach Wilson's interception.
Denver's winning cover.
All right,
Yeah.
Broncos winning cover. Buccaneers. Ooh, this is the game of the week, in my opinion.
Yes, and my preview just went out. So go on Rams Digest on Sports Illustrated. Check out 3 storylines to follow for the Rams game.
Wait, are you allowed to predict this game though? Since you write for the Rams?
Yes.
Question? I don't think so. So Buccaneers.
I can't.
Rams.
I make predictions on SI. Wait, when does that go out? That hasn't gone out yet. Never mind. I can't.
Maybe hold it.
Yeah.
Maybe hold. See, good thing I'm here. All
You're
right,
smart.
All right. So and the over unders at 55 and a half. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
And I would still hit the over.
I got the Buccaneers. I got the Buccaneers winning that game.
I'll give you hit the over.
Touchdown, Tommy.
I don't want to talk about it.
That's my dog. All right.
I don't want
Anyway,
to talk about it.
dude, his 40-something, 43, 44-year-old ass, whatever he is.
I
All
don't
right. So
wanna
next
talk
game,
about it.
Seahawks at Vikings.
Seahawks just
Seahawks are
absolutely destroy them. I don't even care what the
Dude,
spread is, where
the
they are.
spread's only 2.5. I would hit that hard.
Yep.
That's what she said. Packers at San Francisco. San Francisco's favored -3 in this game.
Yep, and you should take San Francisco and that spread and run with it because Trey Sermon is going to run all over the Green Bay Packers, and they are going to get absolutely curb stomped in San Francisco.
Holy cow! Hey, Richie, please grab that because
I have zero faith in the
Wow.
Green Bay Packers in the state of California or Florida, let alone against the San Francisco 49ers, let alone against any human being that has any speed that can run, let alone with Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk running all over Kevin King like his little 4-year-old they're playing basketball against. It's
That
going to
is-
be an embarrassment. Packers going to get punted to the Pacific.
I like it.
Amen.
So you know what's hilarious about that though is the fact that we have the Bears at 1-2 and the Packers at 1-2, and then the Vikings at 0-3 and the Lions at 0-3.
Yup.
The NFC North is trash, and I said it earlier this week.
Yep. It's dumpster
And
fire.
the last game, the Monday Night Football, the culmination of it all, you got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Dallas Jerry Jones is. So
Cowboys easy.
Cowboys -3.5. Let's go. All right. Hey, man. Good stuff this week. Let's have some fun. Let's drink some beers. Hey, we officially have a what do you want to call it? Producer. There you go. That's the word.
Yes. Thank you very much, Richie. We appreciate you. And thank you to Dan O'Dowd. Yes.
100%. Thank you, Dan, for jumping on it. Cannot kind of. We shit like that, yeah.
It's okay. He'll learn. And
Fair,
you know,
fair.
we're not a professional show anyway, so I'm
No,
expecting
not
this to
at
be
all.
professional.
Not at all.
Hey. All right. Well, with that, before we dive off the deep end too much, thank you everybody for watching. It's been a great time. My name is MJ. That is Coach Bruce, and we'll be
Go
back
Bears.
next week. Go Pack, go. Adios.
See you guys.